and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the major differences between acting in film and acting on stage. So there's really some amazing, beautiful, subtle differences in these two mediums for actors that a lot of actors aren't aware of. And what happened with me is I started my career in musical theater, believe it or not. I did musical theater camp when I was in my teens and then delved into that world for a little bit of time, and then I did stage plays in my late teens, and then I started my professional training on the stage as well. But what's crazy is all along, ever since I was like 7 years old, I wanted to be an on-camera actor, and I didn't start my on-camera training until I was 20 years old, which was about 7, 8-ish years ago. And what struck me when I started my on-camera training was how different it was than stage acting and how different it was than theater training and acting. And I had a long way to go. I'll never forget the first on-camera workshop I took at an acting school in the suburbs here in Chicago. It was my first time on camera. I was 20 years old, still very, very green, and I'd just done theater. And I got on camera, and the first thing that the teacher said to me, and she was very kind and sweet, but the first thing she said to me once she called cut and stopped filming me was, Hannah, have you done a lot of musical theater? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. I've done a lot of theater, period. And she was like, yeah, I can tell. And she was very sweet about it, very gracious. But she could tell because my acting was so big. It was larger than life. My eyes were going everywhere. It was crazy. And what a lot of people can't believe is they would never expect that now because I'm very, very good on camera. And how you get to that point, I'm about to show you some simple tips and just explain to you a little bit the differences between the two mediums. So let's get started. Get your pencil and notebook ready. Take some notes because this is important stuff for any actor. The thing you have to remember about on-camera acting versus stage or theater acting is it's about the levels of intimacy in both mediums. On camera, I once had it described to me this way. On camera, your audience is right here. They're right there in front of you. They can see your eyes, they can see your emotions, they can see your expressions. The eyes are the window to the soul, and this is so important and vital to remember in on-camera acting. Your eyes are telling the story. You can show heartbreak, sadness, depression, fear, love, romance, every emotion through your eyes. And it's the subtle little changes that make all the difference in on-camera acting. You watch some of the best on-camera actors out there and they nail this. Meryl Streep, Jessica Chastain, James Dean, Natalie Wood, those actors, to me, that's just my personal opinion, showcase this vulnerability and intimacy of on-camera acting perfectly. Watch their work and learn from the masters. The other thing you have to remember about on-camera acting is usually you're acting in a little box. I mean, if you look at the screenshot or the setup I have right now, I'm in a little box, and this is kind of what I have to work with. I'm not on stage and I'm like, here I am, hello. I'm right here in a little box, and this is my stage. So when you start, if you're one of those theater actors that are just starting to transition to on camera, a beautiful way I always tell theater actors to think of it is think of this as your stage. Act within this. You can still move, you can still express yourself physically, you can still do stuff, it just has to be more contained. On-camera acting is about vulnerability, intimacy, and a beautiful, powerful, I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. Power that's contained. It's a contained power. I believe Michael Chekhov once put it that way a little bit in his book on acting. It is a power that is contained. So think about that when you start on camera acting. It will take you a long way. Now for theater and on stage acting, a lot of people think of it as you can just do whatever the heck you want. You have the whole stage, you can be big, you can be fearless, you can be comedic, you can be quirky and goofy and no one cares. That is not true. It is true that on stage you can be big, and I hate when teachers and actors use that word because it doesn't, fully tell the story of stage or theater acting. It is bigger. You know how I said that on camera acting your audience is right here? In on the stage and in theater acting, your audience is the last row of that theater. Act to the last row of that theater. You were acting for them. You were not acting for the audience in the first row. You were acting for the nosebleeds in the back row. Remember that. You can be bigger and you can be more physical and you can be more expressive, but it still should be controlled and contained. With on-stage acting and theater acting, how I always like to look at it as you should have every single move, word, expression, and act of physicality trained with confidence. And this doesn't mean it should be rigid or controlled or pre-planned, but with every move you make on stage, you have to be super confident. This is so important. This is probably the most important thing about theater acting that a lot of people miss out on. So a perfect example of this was I did my first play that I had done in quite a while. This past fall, I was in 2 original works at a play festival for Halloween here in the city, and I was able to film myself a little bit. I don't know if it was a rehearsal or the actual show, and I watched myself back on stage on opening night, and I was like, you know, I can tell that I haven't done theater in a while, ironically, because I forgot that on stage you have to have confidence in every single choice you're making. And I could tell that I was kind of doubting myself in a few places and I wasn't sure. And the thing about on stage is you cannot lie at all. You know, they're gonna see it. If you're not confident, if you're not completely, you know, thinking that you're capable in the choices you're making and what you're doing on stage, people are gonna see it. And ironically, the same exact thing goes on camera acting too. The camera sees all. My acting mentor once said that to me and I've never forgotten it. And in some ways too, it is exactly true of on stage and theater acting as well. So for theater acting and on stage acting, the 3 things you need to remember is you need to have complete confidence in every single move you're making, every single word you're saying. You need to remember that your audience is in the back row, so you need to project without, you know, the temptation to make things big for the sake of just making them big and being a theater actor. And 3, you need to really, really watch your language, the way you're using your language, your words, your diction, your projection. You know, it sounds like we're living the 1700s when I say that, but it really, really is basic theater acting that your voice is all. The voice rules supreme in on stage and theater acting. Thank you so much for watching this video about the differences between theater and on-camera acting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please show your support by giving this video a like and comment down below with any questions you have, any ideas that you would like to see on this channel for new and upcoming videos. A new video is out every single Wednesday. Make sure too, if you guys really want to explore your dreams and your career as an actor, maybe you're a new actor and you really need, you know, just a vision for yourself in the future, or maybe you're a seasoned actor who feels a little lost, I do offer career consultations, and this week only I am offering 5% off. Mention this video and contact me via my website. It's always in the down bar below, guys, in the link, and contact me there and set up a career consultation for me. They're always virtual. We can share a coffee virtually together and talk about your dreams as an actor. 5% off this week only. Make sure and book me, link down below. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure and subscribe, follow me on Instagram for updates, and have a wonderful week as an artist. Remember, we all have a story to tell. Till next time.